All right, I'm gonna record here.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get on my lost. There was a problem. Sorry, I lost the connection because I went back to my phone. Since everybody usually, you recording already?
Yep.
Oh well.
You see the audio files? The audio ready?
It's your boy Matt,
It's your boy Gio.
and we the dads of the day. Oh, what it do,
What it is?
bruh? My hair getting so gangsta all like it's sticking out the hat.
I see it.
I like
I see
it.
it.
I like
dig
it, bruh.
I
I'm
dig
gonna be
it.
crunching, man. I don't care.
Hey,
I'm gonna
crunching
ruin the episode.
thangs.
I'm
Before we
gonna
went
ruin the
live,
episode.
he was over here talking about, am I gonna crunch all up in this? Wait a minute, let me try something real quick. He put the chip in his mouth and he got real silent. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, wait, no. You're not doing what I think you're doing. That dude sucked the crunch out of
The
the
crunch
chip.
out. Let me show you. Ha! You can't see. You off to the right or to the left. You ain't center. You might have to turn your phone a little bit.
Well, I mean, here. This is better.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. I think this is what a video gonna look like.
You
Now
think
we
so?
figured out
I
how to
look
show
like
what it looks
I
like. On our
look
phone.
good where I'm at in my well, you're the
I
one
mean,
who's
it looks
recording, not me. How am I now? Am I in the middle?
not really, but it's all good. Here's what it
Oh
is. We can
God.
see you.
Sucks.
I feel like we're gonna be figuring this out for weeks.
Oh, forever, bro. Are
What
you
you drinking
kidding
today?
me? Guys, man, what am I drinking today? The same thing as always,
Sangria?
man. Sangrilla, dude. Sangrilla with my signature Chester's flaming hot fries. You know, my signature snack to have on the snow on the snow. On the show
snow, baby.
by our
We in Florida, y'all.
unofficial.
We don't get that stuff.
Yeah, we don't get none of that. None of that at all.
I'm drinking some homemade tea up in this mug. We got some
Ooh.
turmeric up in there. We got some ginger. So we got a little lemon up in there. Some black pepper. Black pepper help activate the turmeric.
I'm
Honey, boy.
hating, bro. I want some of that.
Anti-inflammatory. And this is like my mama chopped up all the stuff, bro. She chopped up the turmeric, chopped up the ginger. I'm like, this is how you make some tea right here, boy. It's hot, but it's
I'm
fire.
hating. I'm over here with my Sangrilla. I'm like, you know what, man? My body needs some tea.
Bro, this anti-inflammatory stuff, bro. I need it, man. Boy, I need it. Body been
You been
actually
feeling
my body.
inflammatory?
No, it's been feeling a lot better, man. Like I feel like since I've been drinking this almost every night now. My mom been making it,
Oh,
and yeah, bro, I'm just like bumping, man. Every night, let me get it. I've been throwing turmeric in almost anything I can throw it into, and putting a little black pepper in that thing to help again activate it in the body, make it work better, man. I just been trying to
okay.
keep that turmeric running through my body, man. So it's good, bro. This is like extra bright today. Ah, jeez, I feel like I can't even move it. Man, can I be honest? I do
Yeah, man.
not feel like recording. I know we talking right now and we on the podcast. Like, I feel like going to sleep right now, man.
Can I be real a sec? For
Can I be
just a
real
sec?
sick? Oh man. I mean, if we can't be real with y'all on our podcast, there ain't no
Hey,
point in doing
man.
it, man.
I ain't even gonna front, man. I don't blame you, man. I received some tough news a few hours ago. My niece's father passed away. My niece Lexi, her father, uh, he passed, and it's still not really like 2020 sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That's your sister's daughter, yeah, Lexi, right?
yeah, that's my older sister's daughter. She's
Oh,
15, man. So to
right.
lose your father at 15, right? Like
Wow.
yeah, man. It's a tough one, man. And
Yeah.
so
Was she
it
close
hasn't
with her?
really yeah, man. That's her daddy, bro. Like
Of
yeah.
course.
Uh I it hasn't really hit me, but like when I spoke to her like 40 minutes ago, man, like I cracked, bro. Like hearing my niece in that kind of pain broke, man. That
Wow.
broke me a little bit, man. So uh I'm not gonna say I'm feeling somber or depressed. I'm just like in a headspace where like this is really like still. It's hard to compute, man.
Just fresh, yeah.
So,
You even had to
yeah,
kind of decompress and process it.
yeah, yeah, man. And I'm more so
Wow.
grieving for her. I mean, he and I had a great relationship, and so it sucks because we have great memories together, a lot. But all I can think about is her, right? Like, because it sucks for me,
Sure,
but like, it ain't about me. This is her dad, so
of course, yeah.
that's what I'm thinking about mostly. So, yeah, man, keep my sister and my niece in y'all prayers, man.
Sure, man.
It's been interesting, man. This has all been It's all been a weird roller coaster of emotions these past few weeks, man. I'm just sitting here almost like in a I don't know, pessimistic kind of way. Like, okay, what's
Yeah,
next? Like, what's gonna happen next?
sure. Yeah,
Like that's just how it feels at this point. So
I feel like that's how
that
a lot of
aside,
people.
man. Yeah,
Yeah, man. It seems like this year is dealing a whole lot of
a lot of draw
trash.
fours, bro.
Yeah, a lot of draw fours compound on each other, bro. It's like
Absolutely,
the next person that comes up is like, nah, bro, I ain't picking up. Your
bro.
turn.
Like you're playing one-on-one with somebody, and you have 6 draw 4s in your hand, and only one regular card. So like you're like, well, I'm gonna be out in 2 plays. Boom, boom, and then they're like, yeah, nope, you're in because I also have a draw 4. You wasted all your draw 4s to get hit with another. Like,
Mm, mm, mm. Dang, bro.
yeah, bro, this year's been whack, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I feel like we may have to do one of those like, what's the good in it? Find some good in the midst of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, I can't find any outside of the fact of what I stated earlier. In our previous conversations, this sabbatical or this rest that a lot of people are getting. Now it's not resting, it's not restful for some people, I know, but I can only speak for me and myself. Like, man, this has been very, I feel at peace.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
entire situation is jacked. It is weird. It is odd. I don't understand it. But for whatever reason, amidst all of that, I'm still at peace.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just wondering, like, why 2020 is hitting so hard, bro?
It's crazy, dog.
Like it's hitting hard, bro. Like it's not holding any punches, and it just feels like a dream. It feels like this is the kind of story you would write. Like it just don't feel real. It feels very written, and that sounds like a terrible way of putting it, but like that's what it feels like.
Wow, man. And
Yeah,
obviously, everybody's all ready to make make the next year better, right? It's 2019, and everybody's like 2020 gonna be fire, bro. And it's like,
talk about bad vision. We didn't see that coming in 2020.
you can't, man. Jeez, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Man, bro.
if I can be honest too, since you know what, man, let's just have an honest show, bro.
Let's do it, bro.
I'm struggling, dog, seeing a group of people. Okay, like on one extreme, there are so many people right now protesting at capitals, like open up the government. I'm like, you idiots. Like, how much privilege do you have to be able to do that? And other people are in groups of 10 and they're getting arrested. But you can protest something and see it as a hoax. And I don't know, man. Like, so, anyways, I just like how privileged you have to be marching and protest. Okay, so yeah, you want jobs to come back, but protest and open up the government is not what you're really mad at. Like, we're mad at our government's lack of preparedness in this. The fact that the banks are getting, the bailouts and all. Like, let's really address what's really bothering us, as opposed to the the band aid thing. Let's open up the
Sure.
government. I think it's so stupid. One, and then two, look, man, I don't mean to be insensitive, but the amount of people at home, like there's a difference between being open, like, oh, here's what's going on, versus like just straight up complaining. I'm like, my G, you're at home, like, and you have all this stuff at your like disposal. Now, some people obviously, unless you're living in very terrible circumstances, obviously these aren't the people complaining. Like, what are you complaining about, man? Like, really, what are you complaining about? I
Sure.
don't understand it. That's not to say that you can't be honest about how this situation is affecting you and how you're feeling frustrated. But the level of complaints that I'm hearing, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm like, yo, get over it. Like, for real. Like, first world problems, bro. For real, for real.
Yeah, yeah. That's usually the ones that have the worst. Oh my gosh! Don't take off your hat again, bro. I took my head off to scratch my head, and I looked up and I was like, "Oh God!" Ah!
Oh, it don't look bad. I thought it was gonna be like indented or something.
I thought so too, but it's still. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh man. Anyways, yeah. Nah. You know what, man? I feel like first worlders. It's easy to complain about stuff because we get so used to and so comfortable with.
Spoiled, man.
Yeah, man, we get comfortable with our reality of being able to go where we want, do what we want, spend our money how we want, and all that stuff got taken away, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like our way of living has been stripped to not just the essentials. You know, we still have electricity and stuff like that. I had this thought to myself. I'm like, what would we do if electricity shut off? You know what I mean? What would we do if we can't sit and watch movies all day? What would we do if, you know, we lost power, we lost water? You know what I mean? It's like that for me is like, I hope that we don't get to that point. You know what I mean? So it's like the fact that we can't go out and I can't go to the gym, like, all right, you know, it's cool. It sucks. But
Right.
you know, it's I don't find myself complaining very much. I think I just find myself missing normal and wondering
Right.
if what the new normal would be. You know what I mean? I'm like, by the end of the year, will we be back to a place where it's like pandemic over, we're good, and we can literally live how we were living before? Or will we have to be in this weird place where it's like there's always the looming cloud over your head, like you may end up in a pandemic again, so be careful, practice. So you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you
I don't
know,
know, man.
I don't spend that much time thinking about what it's going to be like in the future. You know, I in my head and in my heart, I hope that we're able to get back to normal. And so just making the most of this time and how things are now. You know, I'm just like, it is what it is, you know, kind of
Yeah.
where life is at.
Yeah,
So,
man. I don't know, man. Like, part of me just thinks like it's only gonna get weirder. And it's almost like, man, if you didn't watch enough sci-fi movies and like read 1984 and all these other books, then you weren't prepared, man. Like the writing
right.
was off the wall. But then the other part of me is just like, what's normal, man? Like, what's normal? If there's anything that we could all walk away from this and agreeing on, is that the infrastructure that we have in place is clearly not working. And you see that. You see what's important and what's not, and as if you did it before. But like, don't get me wrong. Look, I want to go to the gym like the next person. I want to go wrestle. I want to roll around and like wrestle and like grapple and but okay, so I can't do that. What am I forced to do? Sit at home all day with my family and chill? Whoa, like, again, I'm speaking from a perspective of I enjoy being around my family. There are people in
Right.
certain circumstances I understand that are dire. I get it. I'm not negating their situation, but I feel like the average amount of people that I hear, like those people are not privileged enough to complain because they have to go through what they're going through, right? They don't have a chance to complain about the abuse or whatever, or like they're not complaining that way. They're living that through a hell. I feel like the people who are online complaining are people complaining from a seat of privilege, and it's like, get over it. Like, seriously, get over it.
Yeah.
And that's not everybody. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking to those who are.
Sure.
It's weird, man. But again, like, I don't know. I just feel like each week it gets weirder and weirder. I hear like they're trying to open up everything now May 1st, and I'm just like, why would you do that? Like,
Yeah.
if it's as bad as everybody's saying is, and you haven't presented a clear cut plan, why would you do that? And the other part of me is like, okay, let's say the plan is in effect and it's actually a good thing, and then May 1st everything opens. Two things come into my mind. One, dang, okay, well, this vacation that I didn't pay for is over a lot sooner than I would have liked it to be, just being honest. And then the other part of me is like, well, dang, like the day or two after I'm on the road to move, you want to open everything up and jobs start coming back. Like right after you do that, I'm gone.
Sure.
Like right after I leave, and
Yeah.
I don't say you. I don't think it's being done on purpose. I'm just like, wow, the odds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You know, it's crazy. I found that the longer we're in this, the less I watch the news and keep up with stuff. Like I haven't
I
checked
haven't at
the
all,
numbers.
bro.
I haven't checked. Well, I was, you know, like I feel like in the beginning I was checking numbers, I was checking the stats, I was trying to see what was going on and see how it was creeping up. And I got to a place where I was just like, I
What's
can't
that gonna
control
do?
it. What's it gonna do? You know, continue to produce fear. All I can do is control what happens in this house
Right.
and control
Right.
my actions. You know, and I feel like even with stuff, and I obviously get notifications, so I see, okay, they're thinking about opening it up sooner and stuff like that. I still think to myself, man, I feel like I'm grateful that Samira's dad lives with us because he's kind of our um somebody was saying like their North Star. Like he's like, okay, we're gonna base our decisions off of him now. He'll be moving out of here at the end of the month. So that's actually kind of cool because then we'll, having so many people in the house has been
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
crazy.
It's fun,
It's
but it's
crazy.
crazy.
It's fun, but it's crazy, right? There's like nowhere to go. There's nowhere to like go and be alone except outside. And then it's getting hot out there now, so it's like, let me stay in this AC.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the reason that we started quarantining so soon in this house because we were like,
Right.
he got a respiratory issue. We ain't trying to jeopardize that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out. I feel like I still want to kind of maintain this kind of quarantine life. One, because both of our jobs, my wife and I, allow us to do that. Like we're still able to work from home, be productive. So we don't have to go anywhere. But I think the people I want to be more, to be able to go somewhere is more my kids, like them jokers, man. Them poor jokers, dude. Like we go outside, we run around, we have fun, but like not being able to interact with your homies, not being able to be around their
Yeah.
friends, you know what I mean? Like not being able to go to the playground. Like our parks are open and we got tracks that we can run around and stuff, but all the playgrounds are closed on those parks. So it's like they can't even like exert their energy in this way. So it's cool because I feel like it's forcing our kids um to be explorers, Like my son never really plays on the playground anyways. He's
Right.
usually trying to find sticks and starting to climb trees and stuff now. So it's like, okay, cool.
Right.
Let's do that. Let's just go and run around and just have fun, man. And so we've been, figuring it out. But I feel like for them, man, I look forward to the day when they're able to start going around and hanging around their homies again.
Yeah, man. I mean, they've been having a ball FaceTiming each other and screaming at each other every day. Um,
Hilarious.
they don't know how to talk, bro. The
They
thing
don't.
that broke the thing that broke my heart in a good way was like Dom 4 or 5 times was like, Matthias, I love you, right? And then Matthias
Love
finally was
you.
like, I love you too. And then Dom got so excited that he was like, oh yeah, 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 bro. It's like, okay,
Right.
like you didn't. That's great. You didn't grow up in hurricane season like we did, where we were completely isolated. I feel like hurricanes prepared me for this, bro. Like isolation is
Right.
nothing new because it was forced upon us through hurricane seasons each year. Sorry, I just kicked the heck out of the mic. Um, but anyway, so like the fact that they can see each other is still cool, but
Yeah.
it's still hard for. I mean, he understands to some degree what's going on, but the fact that he can't, you can tell it's killing him. Like he wants to run around and like play with his friends. And there's a
I
part of me that
understand
wants
at
to
all.
let him. I mean, the other day, I told him, yo, y'all can't, like the girl neighbor that he always plays with. I'm like you got to back up. Like you got to, like I'm trying to
Right.
be precautious.
The
And then finally, I'm
problem
like,
is
you
the
know what?
6 feet distance. They can't
So I
comprehend that.
found the game that you can play. Kick the ball to each other. Soccer, 6 feet. You stay here, you stay there, kick it. And then they play like a form of monkey in the middle where you could only move sideways. And then whoever caught it, like there was a way where they had to go this way, they go straight up. Like I found the way for 3 kids to play with each other while standing 6 feet in distance, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
That aside, like you, we've been exploring, man, going on walks. The golf course by where I live, we went on an expedition today. Um, and it was me and the 2 kids. Adam Nice was asleep half the time until he woke up towards the end, but he was in the carriage. And it was me and Dom. We found sticks. We had like walking staffs that we had, and I know how the course of the golf courses are basically pretty much mapped out now. So we were on a hunt for a dragon. So the early part of it where there's dark corner bathroom is at was like the dragon's lair. We went and we fought it. Then the dragon left, and then we had to travel the rest of the land to go find the rest of the dragons. Before we entered in, like there was birds above us, literally stopping and singing. And I was like, buddy, we can't go. He's like, we got to go get the dragon. I'm like, we can't go without the blessing of the bird. And the song is long sometimes, but you got to get the blessing. And we sat there and listened to a whole bird song before we went on
Nice.
this expedition. Like, it was crazy. And then, crazy enough, as we're watching, finally a crow comes and whatever, and then they leave, and the crow stands there and goes, wah, wah, wah. And then we finally go, and I was like, okay, the long song of blessing and the short, monologue of the crow warning. Let's go. Like, and we went on a whole adventure, bro, fighting dragons and whatnot. And it was the dopest thing ever. But like I allowed myself to be a kid again, bro. Like I had to.
Yeah. Of course.
But like that, like I'm thinking about it now because I don't think I had a chance to really dissect that. That was pretty cool, man. It felt good to feel like I was in elementary school again, playing make believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was really dope, man. It was really dope.
We haven't done too much of that yet. We go hunting for monkeys, or searching for monkeys. My son's always like, "We gotta find the monkeys, Daddy." And so I think that's the kind of the extent. So it is cool to kind of do those kind of games. You look up in the trees and he's making up the game as we go. Like, are there any monkeys up there, buddy? He's like, nope, not in that one. I don't see any. And we keep walking, and I'm just like, man, dude, it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, these are kids and their imagination and how they come up with all these stuff, man. Like,
But
I don't know
these
how we
opportunities, bro.
Yeah.
These opportunities that are more frequent because of what's going on. Whereas before, we work, we have the weekend, we have a limited time with them, we get what we get there. Whereas now we have all this time with them, and we really get to like sponge that imagination. I've been having a ball, bro. Now there's days where I'm annoyed because my son is pressing buttons. Sure, but for the most part, dude, like I've been having a ball.
Yeah.
And today was pretty cool, man. I gotta admit, today was it was a pretty cool day in regards to being able to hang out with them. Because my wife, she wanted to go hang out with your wife, another friend of ours. They were gonna sit in a parking lot 6 feet distance in their trunk talking to each other. I'm like, yo, like,
hilarious, bro.
and then you're gonna leave me with
My
these
wife
two
felt
kids.
super refreshed though. I'm like,
Yeah,
it
for
is what
whatever
it is.
reason they felt refreshed. I was like, all right, cool.
Of course, they need that
But
girl
I'm
time.
like, man, like I want to go out and do stuff like that, but there's no opportunity for nothing like that.
Right.
Instead, I'm going on a long walk on a golf course with 2 kids, and at first I'm tempted to be like, but I had to be extremely tongue-in-cheek and just stinking like all out goofy and like get out of myself, like let my ego go and let my imagination run. And it was cool to do that, man. I didn't realize how refreshing that was.
I think that's one of the things that I'm starting to realize is important, is making sure we get that alone time.
Yeah.
Like for her, she I don't mind. I'd rather go. My alone time is let me go watch a movie one time, or let me go watch some Game of Thrones, which I haven't been able to watch because my brother-in-law ain't renewed his dang subscription to HBO.
Yo,
I've been checking every day, and I don't want to be that guy like, hey, bro, by the way,
no, you got it. You got it. It's quarantine time, bro.
Can't, bro. I can't. I'm gonna go watch The Witcher, and I started watching The Mandalorian again, so I'm gonna go ahead and catch him on that.
The Mandalorian is raw.
Everybody says it is. The first 2 episodes, I'm on the second episode, and I'm like halfway through, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna give it a chance. But
bro, you watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I got time now.
Watch your mouth is what I was saying. You should watch.
Oh,
don't talk trash about an epic show.
I'm not talking trash about it. I'm just saying it hasn't pulled me in yet. And somebody was telling me after the second or third episode, it'll start to click.
Really?
But well, you're already a Boba Fett fan, like that. You're a Mandalorian fan already, so
that's true.
For you, that's everything.
I am specifically a Mandalorian fan. Like I Boba Fett. If you guys can see my desk, Boba Fett paraphernalia is everywhere. So
right. So for me, never been that. So I mean, I would prefer to be a Sith than a Mandalorian. So I like the swords. I like the dark. I like the dark.
For sure. I wouldn't be a Sith or a Jedi. I'd be a gray Jedi. Right. And what that relates, what that translates to is like if you were to ask me, if you got superpowers, I was thinking about this the other day. If I got superpowers, would I be a superhero or a villain? I would be neither. I don't think my character is morally upright enough to be a superhero, but I'm not that corrupt that I would be a villain. I would be like Deadpool. I'd be an anti-hero. Like I'd get justice done, but I'd be gritty. That's how I feel like. And that's what a gray Jedi is.
I got you. So, yeah, man. So I mean, I think for me having that alone time, if y'all ain't getting that, people, you know what I mean? People that's listening, like if you in a house and it's you and your spouse, and you got kids or whatever, and you ain't getting like some alone time where it's just you, make it happen, man. Like that,
Yeah.
I think is the difference maker when someone comes back refreshed, you're able to
Engage them.
give it away. Yeah, bro. Honestly, even like being able to do work by myself, get some work done. Obviously, you start to, I hear them playing around downstairs and stuff, and I'm like, dang, I missed that. I want to be down there. So when I'm done, I'm ready to give. You know what I mean? As opposed to
Yeah. Yeah.
being with them all day, you're ready to get. You start waking up. First thing you do is wake
You're ready
up
to
and
give them to
hear
somebody
them.
else.
Right, because they wake up on top of you like a mug. You like, dang, come on, dog. Like, come on, dog. Give me a break. So it's like having those breaks and having those moments to be alone and be away. What? Phone's temperature is too hot, so my charging stopped. I can't wait to get out of here, Joy. Truck is going down. Bro, my junk went from 77 to 76. Hold on. I'm like, we in the middle of a show. All right, whatever. It's all good. I'm like, what's making my phone temperature so hot? Bruh, I hope this don't.
Yeah, what is making it? Because it can't be that lamp.
Nah, bro, the lamp is pointing my
Yeah,
direction. Oh, man. That's hilarious, bro.
this is a
Anyway,
hell of a
man.
show, bro. We're gonna call this show like no closing things, bro. Like we're just
Right.
bearing all, bro.
That's it, dog. I'm like, you know what, though? I'm happy, though, because so obviously that money came in. If it didn't come in for you people, I'm sorry. So sorry. We filed our taxes in the beginning of April. So our tax money and that stimulus money came at the same time. And that was
Woo!
crazy,
That's a
bruh.
game changer, bro.
Are you kidding me, dog? Like having a job that's all commission, I feel such a sigh of relief. We've paid off so many things, paid off some bills ahead of time, kind of thing, bro. And so I would say that's a good that's kind of come in the midst of all this. So that's been nice to be able to do that, to be able to have that, and to be able to not stress as much about like what's going to happen financially. You know what I mean? But it's like I think the biggest thing I'm excited about is getting back on Team iPhone, man. Like, whoo, hit up my boy Jeff Boys one time. Well, hit him up. My dog work at Apple, got the family friend discount. Boy,
He gonna be like, "Why everybody calling me?
right?
Calling me,
Hey,
they be
hit him up.
calling
I'll
me,
give
they
you
be
a call.
calling me." I'm so glad you got that reference, bro.
They keep calling me.
Calling me, they be calling me.
Bro, dude, I be using that all the time and nobody get it, dog.
Yo,
Atheon
nobody
Crockett, dog.
gets it. Nobody gets it.
Atheon Crockett. They
Maybe I'll
keep
crack
calling
it.
me.
They
They
be
keep calling me.
calling me. Oh yes,
That is
yes,
perfect.
yes.
That's so stupid. They keep calling me. He was acting as hot and his mouth was ashy.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
water.
yeah.
Then they zoomed in. Bro,
Yeah,
we need to
mouth
post that.
all crusty. They be
Oh,
calling me. They be calling me with the Chris Rock hands. They be calling me.
oh man. I didn't know you got into Atheon Crocker like that, bro. Dang
Oh,
it, bro.
bro, his
I used
impressions
to
were
watch
flawless,
his
bro.
yo,
His
I used
impressions
to
are flawless, bro.
watch
When he
one
does Russell Simmons, hi, I'm Russell Simmons.
I'm Russell Simmons. I'm Russell Simmons. Bro, one of my favorites. One of my favorites. There was two other ones. So he did the John Legend.
Yeah.
My here's all he's like, oh, oh. And then he did a little Weezy song, bro. He did Lil Wayne. He killed. I gotta
Yeah, I
find that.
remember that.
I used to listen to that song every day.
Bro, I remember that. He did Jay-Z very well. Like, he did Jay-Z.
The one when he was a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. This is why we need, like, a dope setup so we can just, like, forward the video in the podcast so people could watch it, bro. This is specifically something you have to watch. Avion Crockett impressions compilation.
We'll
Watch
find
it.
it. be on IG, bro. We gotta
Yeah,
put it on IG,
yeah,
book,
yeah.
bro. My gosh, bro.
Oh.
Oh, Jeff,
Jeff, they gonna call you.
they go calling
They
you,
gonna call you, B.
bro. So yeah, man. So, bro, we bought, man. This the first time we bought. I never bought phones outright before, man. I usually do the installments or whatever, man. So that's nice to be able to be like, it wasn't worth it to go to T-Mobile. We went to T-Mobile. I'm over here telling all my money businesses and problems, whatever. Who cares?
Can I be realistic?
You really think? Wasn't worth it to go to T-Mobile and get it done. And we, T-Mobile is great, love them, but it just wasn't worth it to drop, this amount of dollars, $600, $700, $800, and then continue making payments on it. We were like, man, how much it costs to pay it off? Boom, got it done, paid it off. They coming in the mail, bro. I'm like,
Which one did you get?
I got the 11.
Oh,
Got the 11, bro. So and I'm like, I'm gonna hold on to that. That is one that is paid off. So I'm like, I'm holding on to that for at least 3 years if I can, 4 if I can. Because I'm
and then
like,
it's gonna break down because they're gonna make you do automatic updates and get the next phone.
right. But by then, you know what I'm saying, with my job and everything, bro, hopefully I'll be doing fine. Where I'm like, whatever, man. I'm looking forward to getting back into the Apple ecosystem, bro, altogether. Like,
Yeah,
Ben had the
bro, because
iPad.
you were such a proponent of an Android, you can custom design everything. Now
I,
you're like,
it's the way that, like, if I had other things that were Android and was able to get into it, like maybe I would have been, more sucked in. But it just Apple just makes it easy, man. They just make it easy. Like everything. For us, we take so many pictures, dog. Like I deleted pictures off my phone like 3 weeks ago because I put them all on Google Photos, and I'm already like scrolling because I got so many pictures on my phone. Because we take so much at a time when we're taking pictures with us as a family, and not just like to post stuff. We just take pictures. For me, I'm
yeah,
like, I want to have so many memories of my kids.
yeah, yeah.
The pictures I have are just of them playing around outside together.
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
I got a lot of pictures from my childhood. My mom got a lot of pictures from her childhood. My dad don't. And so why it has become important to me, but it becomes something where it's like I want my kids to be able to have so many pictures of
Sure.
just for
Sure. I
whatever.
thought about that last night. There's so much about my childhood and things that I don't know that it's frustrating when you legitimately don't know certain things about yourself.
Yep. Yeah. So, man, it's like when we want to share that kind of stuff, we gotta do it through WhatsApp as opposed to AirDrop. And I'm just like,
Right.
man, because
AirDrop is
bruh, that like AirDrop and
game
iMessage
changer.
honestly are the main reasons for me to like want to get back to iPhone. Instagram also works way better. Like Instagram on Android, dog, like it's not pixely and weird looking the way they be making fun of us.
Yeah, it
It don't
is.
look like that. It don't look like that. Let me just go ahead and clear it up.
Yeah, dude. Your emojis are trash.
No,
You're,
it don't. Also, really jealous of the iPhone, like the whatever the Memoji. I don't know what y'all call it on iPhone.
oh, the like the emojis of yourself.
Like they look super good, dude. Like, dang, bro, mine looks dookie, bro.
Right.
So, uh, like I don't know if this happens, like right. So on y'all's, like on your iPhone, on an iPhone, and you're on Instagram, and you want to start a video over, right? You're watching somebody's feed, and you're on their video. You just scroll up and scroll back down, and it starts over, right? Me, I scroll up and scroll down, and jump picks up where I left off.
No, that sounds like such a small problem, but
But it's
no,
so frustrating, dog. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's
no,
like
I
the
don't
fact
know
that
that it does that for me.
it does.
I don't know. Is that a interface issue?
I don't know. It
I
didn't
don't
happen.
know. I don't know.
I had an iPhone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm on Android, and I'm like, I remember the first time it happened. I was like, oh snap, boo, watch this. And I scrolled up and scrolled back down, and I was like, I'm sorry, it didn't start up. I'm sorry. I don't really know. I don't know what to do right now.
I'm so embarrassed. That's never happened to me before.
Let's wait till it ends, and then we'll come back and pick up where we left off. My turn.
BRB. Hold on. Wait, no, look now. Oh wait, you missed it. Gotta stop.
You missed it, bro. That's happened before. I'm like, Catch the beginning, dog. Ah! Bruh, I'm telling you, that is so frustrating, dog. And
Wow.
I'm like, this has to be an Android thing, or maybe it's an S9 thing. I don't know. I got an S9. I wanted to get a Note, and I'm sure if I had a Note, it probably would have been a better experience, but I didn't get it. I didn't have the money at the time. And my plan was to get the S9 and then upgrade to the Note. But, you know, in his heart, a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. So I'm coming back to iPhone, y'all. I say all that
I
to
dig
say
it.
I'm coming back.
I
And
dig it, bro. And
I'm
that's
like,
gonna make airdrop so much easier when we have things. Not like we're gonna see each other right away since I'm moving in a few weeks, but you know what I mean.
doo-doo, bro. So doo-doo. But it is what it is.
It is
So what the
doo
heck? I'm moving, dog. What the heck, bro?
doo brown, bro. Doo brown. It's yeah. How do you? I don't know, bro. It's weird, dude. It's like like I don't. Am I crunching loud in your ears? Is it my turn to be loud?
You just was talking, had a chip hanging out, and you just chewed it. Just
Gross. I didn't even see that. You guys will see it, I guess. Whatever.
Yep. It's gonna be a great
Um,
around 36 minutes.
around 30. Yeah, exactly. Um, you know, it still hasn't computed, but we've gone through a lot of things already. Like we tore apart Dom's bed frame, which was already falling apart, kind of. He's such a ruffian. So we tore that apart, and his mattress is on the floor, which is cool. I mean, I growing up preferred my mattress on the ground in the corner. People are like, why? I'm like, why not? But we got rid of that. Like we broke down our king size frame. Within an hour, our neighbor took it. We've gotten rid of a lot of cool things and given it to neighbors and stuff. And so like now it's becoming real in the packing stage.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to packing more, but whatever. All right, so here we go. And
In like a U-Haul and driving up, or what?
yeah. We're gonna drive up, bro.
Dang.
Not a U-Haul per se, but yeah, we're gonna get one of those kind of moving trucks and drive up.
Wow, man.
Yeah, bro. It's about an 8-9 hour drive.
Dang, dog.
Yeah, we can kill it in a day, one sitting if we wanted to.
What? Nah, break that junk up.
Yeah, we will because we got the kids. But I mean, if we wanted to, we could.
Yeah, I'd go stop in Gainesville and then make the rest of the trip.
Yeah, we thought about stopping in Gainesville, getting a hotel, but if this is all happening, who are we going to be able to see in Gainesville? Who's willing to leave to be like, hey, in the middle of a pandemic, we're going to come see you in Gainesville? What would normally be a nice stop?
Can't do that now. I'll be like, go see Sonya and stay at their house.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Bruv. I guess y'all making it in one trip then, huh?
Yeah, stop at a rest stop, get some rest, and then go. I mean, her two cousins who came down before are going to be here. I think y'all were here when they were here. Where were y'all when y'all were living here when they came down to visit? Yeah, y'all definitely were. But you didn't see them, her cousins. They're coming to help us. So, you know, we're going to have fun. Have a lot of fun on the drive up.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah,
I could dig it. I could dig
but
it.
it's for Britt, it's starting to slowly hit her. For me, I've had weeks to wrestle with it and accept it. So that's where I'm at. I think I've wrestled with it. I've accepted it. It's just not real yet. It won't be real until like I'm there and I wake up the next morning and I realize my waking up there is not a vacation waking up there. It's I'm waking up in my new home waking up there. You know, you ever move in a new house or when you move to a new state and you sleep for the first night and you wake up and you know like this is not a vacation. Like I went to bed in Brazil and I woke up, okay, it was vacation. It was weird, but it was vacation. This is I'm waking up in a new state because I live here now. This is
Dang, bro. Like I know what that we both know what that's like, obviously, you know, like moving
several
to
times.
Maine, moving to St. Louis, moving back to Florida, moving to Gainesville, like but that it's almost like it's different now because
Yeah.
you don't, you know what I mean? It's like
And
I've
then, yeah, you're
moved
right. It is
so many
different
times.
now compared to then.
Y'all got
Where then,
kids. Dom was born here, right? Or was he born in Maine? Dang, boy, both your kids are born in Florida, man. I got a
except
dang.
Dom will know a little bit of Florida.
Dang Missourian.
Adonias is gonna be a Georgia boy.
Oh yeah. Oh no. But
Both
your
of them.
boy still. Both of them will be. Oh yeah, because Dom is still young enough. That's what's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like
They're Florida boys, and they're gonna be Georgia boys.
they gonna be some country old boys, man. What's happening, cuz? What's happening,
Was
bro?
happening right,
What's
right.
happening, bro? Because I think Samira's brother was like 5 or 6, maybe a little older when he moved to Georgia. And I'm telling you, boy, he Georgia to the cold, boy. I'm like, dang. And so I'm like, man, yo, that's crazy, dude. So like, has it hit you? Obviously, you know, your kids are gonna be Georgia boys, but like moving with kids, having to uproot them. Like Dom is kind of old enough to know what's going on.
Yeah, he
But
knows what's
like,
happening.
so like, how do you explain that to a 5-year-old? Like, we're moving. This ain't gonna be home no more. We're gonna be living somewhere else. It might be
Just
a
like that.
nice adventure for him too, because he's
Yeah,
probably excited to go live with.
just like that. We're
Yeah.
moving to Georgia, and we're not gonna live in Florida anymore. That could only work though if, as a parent, I have been building up the knowledge and the insight in his brain that he lives in Florida. Like, we live in Florida. I've showed him the map where we live a few times. He knows that, hey, we're getting on a plane, we're going to Georgia, or we're getting on a plane, we're going to North Carolina. He knows different states. So the way that I broke it down for him was I got on Google Maps, the satellite view, when we were at the golf course. And I was like, and I zoomed all the way in, and I was like, look, this is our home. And then I zoomed out enough so that you can see our home in the little bit of the street. And I was like, look, this is us where we walked. And I zoomed out a little bit more, and I showed him where we currently were in the golf course. I was like, look, you see, remember we walked all this? He was like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, now watch this. If I go all the way up, and I'm going all the way up, I'm like, this is where we are. This is where we're moving. Right? And that's a hard concept for him to get, but he gets it.
Sure.
Just not a fully yet, but he doesn't know that Georgia is not down the street. He knows it's far, and he knows that to get there, we have to take a plane if we want to get there fast. If we take a car, it's going to take us a very long time. Like, he knows that.
Yeah.
So it's hard because it's like, hey, look, like, you're not going to be able to, like, I know you're like, yay, we're going to Georgia, but like, I want to see Matthias this weekend. We live in Georgia now. Like, we can't do that, right? Like, and I don't know that it hit him yet. But also, kids are resilient; they bounce back a lot faster. But I don't know that. I don't. You know, it's been interesting to prepare him for, while also still trying to prepare myself. You know. Meanwhile, my wife is like, yeah, you know what? Now that's all said and done, I think maybe I am ready to go back home. And then just, the other day, she says bye to a friend, and she's like crying, and she's like, holy crap, this is gonna suck. I'm like, oh, it's just not registering to you that this is gonna suck.
Mm-hmm. Because she's been kind of excited to be moving closer to her family and stuff.
Sorry, guys, I'm getting a callus off my hand.
I love my calluses. I let them live, man.
All this working out, bro. This is like, I got rocks on my hand. It's weird, bro. I put my hand in the pocket, like, yeah. But for her, it's starting to register a little bit more, I think. Not fully yet, but I mean, and I think intellectually she knows, but emotionally she's starting to feel the weight of it for sure, slowly but surely. But I also think she's got enough going on to keep her distracted. Now, what she thinks about in her own confines of her mind on the pillowcase or on the pillow, that's a different story. I can't speak to that, but I mean, from what I know, I can see that it's slowly registering for her. While life around us is still enough to keep her distracted, I would say. But yeah. Whereas me, I'm like, this is home, bro. Like, I'm a lot of Dalian, bro. Like, I'm an alien to this place. Like, I'm well, not an alien, but you know what I mean. A lot of Dalian. This is home. Like, I know this place, bro. Like, I know this place inside and out, and to know that again, I'm moving. I've moved from here several times before, and it was always.
I was
yeah,
about to say that.
Home.
I was like, you moved before, but this one seems like it's like.
Yeah, like, I've moved from here before. Like, I've moved to North Carolina, and I knew that I'd end up being back home. I moved to Connecticut. I knew that I'd end up being back home. I moved to Gainesville. I moved to Maine. I knew that I would end up back home at some point. This one,
Yeah.
we said, because of the context surrounding the circumstances, we've got a family that we're raising, 2 kids at a certain age, that we said once we start raising kids, we want to be somewhere else. Florida wasn't the place we wanted to really be.
Down
I
here,
love,
man.
huh?
It's hot here.
You know what, man? It really is, and I'm gonna miss the heat. Not really, because I love the heat. I love the heat and hate it all at the same time. So I'm not gonna miss it, and I do look forward to being able to rock some of the dopest winter coats that I own. It's just that it's the familiarity, it's the streets, it's the driving mindlessly from one point to the next, taking in all the surroundings that I know. Um, it's it's the unknown that frightens the hell out of me, and it's the unknown that excites me. Um, so everything that makes me scared and sad is everything that makes me excited and ready.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why it's really hard to determine how I'm feeling, because I'm like I'm not surprised. I knew we were gonna leave it at some point. I just didn't think it happened this way. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Jeez, man. I'm like, I know Samara and I have talked about it, possibly moving up and seeing how things unfold over the next year or so. But I'm like, man, like the idea, I hate moving. I hate moving.
Yes.
And I hate having to pack up stuff and like that for me is just
Yeah.
like, ugh.
It's dreadful.
That's why I hate having so much stuff in the house. You know, I'm like, if we do have to do it, I want it to just be we moving beds, we moving dressers, we moving clothes,
Essentials.
we moving essentials. You know what I mean? I'm like, screw the plates, get some
Yeah.
new ones, new
Yep.
spoons. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like, I don't want to pack all that glass. I'm just like, trinkets, knickknacks, old memories. I'm like, that's why I'm like, all my pictures are on Google Photos, bro. I'm like, I hope that Apple and Google never crash. You know what I mean? Like, sure, it may one day, but hopefully they're around for the long haul, and all my photos can stay there. Because I'm like, even having pictures on the walls and stuff for me, I'm like, I don't care about all that stuff, man. So
Yeah. We don't do anything
the
about
idea of moving and packing up, like for me, is just like, oh, it's so hard. I think one of the challenging things about like having to make a move, right, a big move where you got to change states, change locations, is like, one, why are you doing it? You know what I mean? What's the purpose of it? How's it going to benefit your family? How's it going to benefit you? Because I don't care where we live. For me, I'm just like, I just want to be somewhere where this doesn't cost so much to live for no reason. Even if I had a lot of money, I'm like,
that.
man,
Ain't Florida.
that ain't Florida, man. Like, you paying for the sun. And I used to see all
Yes,
these signs. I
literally.
used to see when I was in St. Louis, man. I would see all these memes, like I live where people vacation. I live where you vacation, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I used to be so jealous. And now I'm here, and I'm just like, man, bro, like
The cost.
it's only nice when you got money. And if you ain't got money to do nothing, like it ain't worth it living here.
Yeah.
Because
Literally,
in St.
especially if
Louis,
you
I
live
don't
where
know
we
what
vacation, because this is vacation
right.
land, so you
It's
gotta
a
have money to
vacation town,
vacation.
right? It's a tourist city. Everything costs money. And there's mom and pop stuff, but it's just not a lot, because it just seems like everything is brand new and everything around here costs money to do. So it's like in St. Louis, there's so much free stuff. I don't know what Georgia's like, but free zoos
There
in
is.
St.
It's really cool.
Free everything, dog. So I'm just like, down here ain't nothing free. And it's just like, man, what's the point of being out here if you ain't got the money? And even if I had the money, there's
I
not
don't
as much.
honestly, even
You
if I
don't get
was
as much
rich and I had money, I don't know that I would want to live down here, bro.
because you don't get as much,
Unless I was a single man.
Right, right. That's the only other option. I'm like, for me, I'm not much of a land guy, but I'm like, if I'm gonna be paying for a house, you gotta give me a front and a backyard at least, and it better not be costing me 400,000 for it. Like, you can get a nice big old house, big old yard in Georgia for 170, 180, 200 in a
Let me
nice
just tell
neighborhood.
you. Let me tell you that I can get something in Georgia for what I pay for this house or for this apartment. I can get way more up north.
Of course,
Way more. And honestly speaking, the other part of me is like,
three
yo, at
times the
some
size.
point, this place is gonna flood. I don't want to be here when this place floods. Look, man, I survived the swamp, but it's time for me to leave the swamp. I'm from the swamp, man. Let's just call it what it is. I'm from South Florida. I'm from the swamp.
Swamp, swamp.
I'm from the country swamp. We don't have Bigfoot down here. We have the skunk ape. You feel me? Like I'm from
Alligator.
Yeah, we have alligators, iguanas. Like, I'm from the swamp. I think the only other place in
Wow.
the United States who can relate is Louisiana. Like, we are from the swamp.
Bye.
You hit the bayou. Uh, I think of that movie. Never mind. But anyways, so I don't know. Like, I'm like, for me, it's the fact that I knew I was gonna say goodbye. Whatever. I knew that was gonna happen. But the fact that it's not happening when I had a little bit more mental space to prepare for it, it's almost like, oh, hey, you're saying goodbye now. It's like,
Yeah, it's not
oh,
happening on your
oh,
terms.
it's not happening on my terms. The man determines the steps, kind of thing, or the man plans, but the guy, like, yeah, like, okay, so I get to say goodbye, but not the way I want to on Zoom. And then because we had flights set up for Georgia, when all this was happening that we need to cancel, that means we have flights from Georgia to Florida for a vacation, so we can come back and have a proper send off if we wanted to, when all this is over.
Yeah.
But I can't say goodbye the way I want to say goodbye. Like, I have to limit who I say goodbye to. And like physically, and then everybody else is like, look, I love you, but I'm gonna come back and say
That's
goodbye.
doo-doo, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's just what it's gonna have to be like. Hey, like, when we come back, we'll come back, hopefully, Lord willing, and we'll have our proper send off. But now, given the current circumstances, I mean, I'm not doing a big thing. I'm gonna say goodbye to who I need to say goodbye to. Not need to, but the essentials, if you will, or just like, look, I got to get these out the way because this is important. Like, there's a long list of people that I need to say goodbye to, but these are priority. I'm going to say goodbye, and then we're going to keep it pushing. Like, we'll come back if we need to, and I'd like to come back. But the other thing is, then after I do that, when will be the next time that I come down here? I have no idea. Like, I don't know. Like, it's official. It's my chapter. It feels like in Florida is officially done. And I know we
Yeah.
kind of covered this a little bit last week. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy to accept, even though I knew it was gonna happen. I just wasn't prepared. It's like I said, it's like when your teacher says, "Hey, you got 4 weeks to prepare for this project," and then 4 weeks is like, I got plenty of time. Yep, the project's due tomorrow. Wait,
4 weeks
what?
later,
You
right?
had 4 weeks, dude. You had 4 weeks. That's what it feels like. It feels like I had years to prepare for this because I'm like, yo, it's gonna happen at some point, and then it's like, oh,
Sure.
no, like,
Not like these.
now, not like this, not like this. Y'all won't get that reference. We ain't even gonna say it. If you get it, you cool. If you don't, you're whack. I said
No,
it.
you.
I said it. I don't care. It's a dope reference. We've said it a million times.
Million times.
But yeah, man. So it's one of those things that as I talk about it, it unfolds more and more. It reveals more and more. But I don't know, bro. It's yeah.
So y'all have like spent most of y'all holidays and stuff down here, right? Y'all never really traveled during the holidays that much. I think
I mean,
since I've been
seldomly.
here, you've gone to North Carolina once, and I think y'all may have gone to Georgia once. I know Britt's
Yeah,
gone up a couple times to Michigan and stuff like that, but
yeah.
so I'm maybe y'all will be
Um,
back for holidays, but maybe y'all won't. Send
I
y'all
mean, it
first holiday up
depends.
there.
It depends. I mean, like, you know, surprise, surprise. I don't care for Christmas like that. I care for the holiday to be able to be around family, but I don't care for anything beyond that. New
Sure.
Year's is cool for the formality of it, but nothing else. Just because it's
Here,
it's
New
the
Year's
time of the year where everybody's together, so I'm going to capitalize on it.
Eve.
And this is not to say that I'm like, oh, like I don't like holidays. I'm just, you know, like I enjoy it for what it is and not for what we make out of it. You get it. So, um, you know, Thanksgiving was going to be a Georgia thing. We did it last year, and then this year we ended up going to my dad's instead. But we really enjoyed it last year with my father-in-law and whatnot. And that's when we announced, hey, we're pregnant. Like, Britt's pregnant, like 5 to 6
Yeah,
weeks. Uh,
nice.
and you know, it was a really cool thing that we thought we were going to keep doing, but you know, it's and we wanted to keep doing, but so, you know, whatever. We'll be, you know, I don't know. It's not something that we've talked about. I mean, I like Christmas has always been something that I've done with my dad. New Year's has always been something I've done with my mom. Or so although sometimes I would do once my dad moved, it was Christmas and New Year's, and then I'd come back, or it depends. But my mom really likes New Year's. So I don't know, but I don't know that we'll fly here for that. Like it might be like, okay, everybody's already up here. You come up here. We don't we haven't really figured it out,
Sure.
honestly speaking.
You got time. You
But
got time.
yeah, we have plenty of time. But like again, I've honestly thought to myself, like, when would be the next time I'll come to Florida? Like since I left Maine, I've not gone back to visit once. I want to go
Right.
back and visit, but I haven't been able to go up. So it's a matter of priority and what comes up, right? So like if Christmas or a bunch of holidays come up and nobody down here is down here, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it, bro. I mean, we've been back to St. Louis once since we've been here, and we moved back in 2017. For us, it's just a money thing, bro. Just ain't got the
Yeah,
money to get up
straight
and
up,
bounce.
straight up.
I'm like, traveling costs money, man, and so I feel like that's where we want to be able to have money to do stuff. Is really travel. You know what I mean? Like, go places, go see people, stay connected with people, and not have to, feel like, dang, I haven't been to St. Louis in like 5 years, 10 years. It's like,
Yeah,
I want my son to know about that place. He was born there, like, hey,
right.
cuz,
He
this
was
is where
born
you
in
was
St.
born.
Louis, right?
He was
Right.
born in St. Louis, so it's like, this is where you from, yo. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna
How
have
do you
that many
describe it?
connections.
Like, is he a Florida boy or is he a St. Louis boy? I mean, he was born there, but he's more a Florida boy now,
He's
right?
been
Like,
here long. He's been here longer, So I
right.
mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I think we'll. It'll be a great question to ask him when he's like 18. Like, what do you consider yourself? Like, obviously St. Louis is going to be at the bottom because it's just where he was born and he doesn't remember a thing about it.
Yeah, I can tell you
And
that's how
chances
it is
are,
for Britt. Britt was born
yeah,
in Maryland, but she lived in Florida and then ended up being raised the rest of her life in Georgia. So Georgia's her home. So
right,
it'll end up being that Florida's his home for them if he's thinking like, yeah, okay, cool, I was born there, right? Like,
right, yeah, man. I think that'll be one of those like name a fun fact about yourself kind of thing. Like I'm the only person in my family born in Missouri. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
one like me and girl both in Florida. You know what I mean? Samara born in New York. But I think that's pretty cool. Like that's like you are a child of
that
a
time.
time in our life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
a time in our life
Dom
where we
was
were.
too. We just didn't want to have him in December in Maine. Like there was just no way that a December baby
Oh,
was going to be born in Maine. Like our no, just
oh man,
I would have been miserable. I was
I know,
miserable in the
bro.
winter by myself. So now add a baby to the mix. Pass,
Oh my
hard
gosh, man,
pass.
it was crazy, bro. Bundling them up. Like when Matthias was born, he was born in August. So it was like just kind of starting to get cold. It was in the fall. And I'm telling you, man, like he
Trash,
bundled up, sweating bullets in his dang car seat, bro, just hot
trash.
because it
Was
was
he
so cold
hollering too?
outside. Huh?
Was he hollering in the car seat?
No, Matthias was a quiet car seat driver, man. He was
None of
asleep.
my kids were.
Amara hated it when she was coming up. She hated the car seat. But Matthias, man, when he was in the car seat, bro, no problem, dog. He had a
Good.
pacifier, that's why. So
Ah,
if it dropped out his mouth, it was a problem, but we just reached back, put it in his mouth, and he was good, man. So we had heard horror stories about other people. I think Dom was a rough one in
Dom
the
hates
car
car.
seat.
Dom hated them. Hated the car. Like people would be like, take him for a car ride, and it'll calm him down. That's the worst decision. I remember there was a time where as soon as you put him in the car seat, he was wailing. And Adonias is like that sometimes. Now he's getting better, but they both hate car seats, which tells me both of my kids are hate being confined.
Yeah, I think all babies do, man, to a certain extent. Amara hated car seats because she didn't have a pacifier, and her finger wasn't long enough to reach her mouth because she always sucked her fingers. She still does, which is hilarious to me because she looks so funny doing it. That's what she looked like. It just be hanging,
They really do. It'd be like,
like it's hanging off her lips.
I think
She
of
looks
Jim
so funny.
Carrey in Ace Ventura with the.
So she hated the car seat, but eventually we got her to a place where she started being cool with it. I think, but either way, man, she always anyway. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
she every time I've seen her in the car seat, she's been chill. But that's
Yeah,
just what I've seen. Yeah,
yeah, she's fine over time.
it's gonna be
So
interesting. I think the drive up with Adonias is gonna be interesting because he hates to.
that's where it's gonna be a problem. And you gonna be in the truck, and Britt gonna be in the car with the kids, right?
It could vary, right? It could be that I'm in the car with Britt and her cousins are driving the truck, or I'll be in the truck with one of the cousins and one of the cousins will be in the car. We'll switch it up. We'll figure it out.
Right. Yeah, bro. That's the only thing about road trips with kids, man.
It's the
You
word.
gotta stop a lot. You gotta stop.
Like I'm not stopping for Dom. We have a bunch of water bottles. You're about to pee in a bunch of water bottles, bro. Like you're good.
Go for it, man. Get apple juice bottles, man. Get big bottles so you can fill them up multiple times, bro. That's what I did when I drove to Missouri, bro. Fill that thing up. I stopped only to fill up and get gas, bro. When I was
Do
going to
not
get gas.
confuse this apple juice with apple juice. This is not apple juice. I had a friend who did that. His mom had to do a urine sample and she left it in the refrigerator and he thought it was apple juice. Yeah. Yeah.
They're gross.
That's gross. It was gross. It was very gross.
That's a great way to travel, bro. I dumped that thing in the bathroom at the gas station, fill up, grab something to munch on. I had some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the car.
And you had to do it solo.
Solo, man. That's when I had an iPod Touch, and I had about 100-something songs, bro, and I just shuffle played them all the way down. I was chilling, bro. I drove 15 hours straight to Nashville, and then I drove the rest of the 5 the next day. I was cruising, bro.
Fire, bro. I don't know. Like when I drove, the only time that I remember by myself, I did a solo drive from North Carolina to South Florida when we were living together. When I had to do that whole car situation, that whole car like swap thing, I did that by myself. That was insane. I killed that straight through. I had like this Eastern like herbal remedy like energy drink that had me just. It was when me and Koo went up. We went up. I dropped them off, and then Koo. And I drove back solo. But outside of that, I don't remember any other road trip that long. I mean, the only other road trip that I did solo that was a pretty decent drive was from Connecticut to Maine. I remember when I had to do that. I took the bus up.
For a Stafford treat or something?
Huh?
For a Stafford treat or something?
No. Corona. No.
Coronavirus?
Coronavirus. No, I was in Connecticut with my wife. This was way before Dom. We were visiting Connecticut because we just went to Connecticut to visit my sister. My mom was there. My 2 sisters were there, so we surprised my mom and my sisters. And my cousin, I drove to the old hood to go see my cousin, and then he was like, "Actually, I'm on my way to work. You want to drop me off?" I was like, "Sure." And as I'm driving, he's trying to show me all his tattoos, and he shows me one, and he keeps telling me to look. And as I'm looking and driving, I look and I stop it, get into an accident there. My car almost totaled, so I had to leave it there. Get a rental on the way back up, drop the rental off. We had Britt's other car, I think, or maybe not. We had a rental, and then I had to get on the Greyhound, go back, pick up my car, and drive it back.
That's trash.
It was trash, bro. And I thought to myself, I had to convince myself to go see this cousin. Like, yo, just go see what's up to him.
Lo and behold,
he showed me a neck tattoo of grandma that doesn't look like grandma, and I got legit. That's a real story. That's a real story, by the way. None of this is fake. It is terrible. Meanwhile, the trip up there was dope. Like, we had fun while we were there. Like, Britt and I had just gotten married. It was like a month or 2 out, so it was kind of like, hey. But road trips are fun depending on the context. When you're driving a bunch of valuable equipment, like all your valuables, not so much. It's like, okay, like, be very careful. You're not going on a road trip with a bunch of luggage. You're going on a road trip with all your valuables.
Right. Everything you love. Yeah, man. It is what it is. Dang. Well, I'm ready to go sleep, man.
Dang. This was an hour episode already. I feel like we didn't talk about a dang thing. The episode about nothing and things.
Nothing and things.
Nothing and things is what we're going to call this one.
There you go. It's all
Nothing.
good, man. Nothing in
So,
things, bro.
for those who joined us on our Instagram live on Friday, that was dope. Like, we want to do that again, and I wanted to talk to Matt about that. Maybe I'm talking about it on the air. Maybe I'll do it off air. But the whole Fatherhood is Tight Fridays, where we do face live Instagram things. Maybe we could do that during the quarantine. Maybe we won't be able to do that after the quarantine, but during the quarantine, continue to do like live IG Fridays would be dope. Tell us what y'all thought of that. A lot of people hit me up after that, bro, in our inbox and told us it was like they really enjoyed it. So I'm glad.
Good.
But yeah, man, and we'll keep you guys updated as all this happens. Maybe while I'm on the road, we'll actually do an Instagram live video. I'm gonna be bored on the road. I need to stay awake, so I don't do well driving. I will say that.
Give me a podcast and some music I know the words to, and I'm good.
Yeah, I suppose, but music, I love music. I use music to go to sleep sometimes. So after a while, I'm like, yeah. I fall asleep through Disturbed, bro. Like,
I used to listen to. This is so corny. I used to listen to like old acapella 4-part harmony songs, and that's what kept me awake in the middle of the night driving. I was like driving from Gainesville to Florida to Fort Lauderdale.
Is trash,
like
bro.
2:00 in the morning. I'm up in there like, no one talks story outside up here.
Bro, that's trash. I would go straight to sleep. I'd be like, glorious.
So I was killing it. And paints and goes and grease and I was killing it. I was
Never
killing
knew
it.
that, bro. That's whack. That's
That
so
was
whack.
my song practice, bro.
Oh God.
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
that CD. I have that CD somewhere. All acapella
Oh,
music.
God.
Oh,
That was so great. That was perfect.
trash.
Then it changed. Then it shifted to like pentatonics. Then it became pentatonics, and that was what got me
Really?
through my. Yeah, I need stuff that I can sing and engage with because it keeps me up. That or sunflower seeds or at least one other person in the car being awake. Any one of those three things, I'm good. I can drive as long as I need to. If I got sunflower seeds, ain't no stopping me. I don't know what it is about your mouth continually doing something, but ain't no stopping me, dog.
Because maybe it's the whole action of the body throwing it in, and like gets a whole body engagement. Maybe.
Yeah, it's different.
I need to figure out something.
It's different than chewing on chips. Like chewing on chips, you just eat two swallow. Like with a sunflower seed,
you got to work. You got to
constantly
work.
You got to crack that thing. You got to separate the seed and the
dang.
Right. And on that note, where can they find us at? Time to go to sleep.
Yo, you can find us on First Name Dale, Last Name Dads on Facebook, on IG.
Dads of the Dale on IG.
Dads of the Dale at Gmail. Where can they find you at, bro?
Bearded Black Dad. And I'm on Facebook, Matthew Anthony Blair.
Dude is back on Facebook all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you my personal Facebook name because I got rid of my personal, but the other page is like, no. Or you can find me on, G08 on Instagram, GEEOH8. Listen, that is my second born son waking up. He should be asleep right now, but he's not.
Well, it's your boy Matt.
It's your boy Gio.
We the dads of the Dale. Oh.